the way. Jesus' so-called triumphal entry was anything but triumphal. His procession was a parody of the militaristic processions that entered Rome on every major feast day, as Rome brought troops from the coast up into the city of Jerusalem in order that they might be on hand to maintain law and order during the holidays, when the Jews might be tempted to react to Rome's oppression. Never forget that the Passover is all about revolution and overthrowing empire. Whether it's Pharaoh or Alexander the Great, or the Babylonians, or Assyrians, or Persians, or Romans. And so on those holy days, Rome would bring troops up from the coast in order that they might be on hand and maintain order. And they would enter into the city in grand procession. So Jesus' procession was one of two acts of civil disobedience that opens up Holy Week. Two acts which will result in his arrest, his trial, and his execution. The other act of civil disobedience was his symbolically shutting down the temple, the site of commerce in Judah. But in today's demonstration, instead of riding on a stallion as a conquering hero, Jesus enters the city humbly seated upon an ass. And while the crowds wanted and were looking for the Messiah, Jesus, throughout the Gospels, repeatedly rejects both the title and its implications. He disavows the title in favor of the Son of Man, the human one, a non-violent one to whom the kingdoms are handed over in Daniel's vision of the fall of Nebuchadnezzar. And Jesus rejects the implications of the Davidic Messiah, namely a new worldly king, emperor, ruler, who in some militaristic fashion overthrows Rome and reestablishes Judah as an empire. Jesus subverts power with servanthood. He subverts the empire's economy of greed and accumulation with Sabbath economics and distributive justice. He subverts law and order and quietly going along with Rome's agenda with non-violent civil disobedience. He subverts the status quo with non-compliance and non-violent confrontation of the keepers of the temple. It is no wonder that both Rome and Jerusalem determined that this Jesus had to go. And so they executed him. Finally, Jesus subverts our will to power. By refusing to use power to defend himself. Instead, he submits. He empties himself. He submits to this world, trusting that God will bring about its transformation. That is the meaning of the way of the cross. That is the way of Jesus. To which Paul says, have this same mind in you that was in Christ Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited. But he emptied himself, taking the form of a slave. And being born in human likeness, and being found in human form, he humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death. Even death by execution from the state. This is the King that we are invited to follow on the way.